I had recently spawned a new world in single-player Minecraft. Everything was normal at first, as I began chopping down trees and crafting a workbench. I noticed something moving amongst the dense fog. I had a very slow computer, so I have to play with a tiny render distance. I thought it was a cow, so I pursued it, hoping to grab some hides for armor. It wasn't a cow though. Looking back at me was another character with the default skin, but his eyes were empty. I saw no name pop up, and I double checked to make sure I wasn't in multiplayer mode. He didn't stay long. He looked at me and quickly ran into the fog. I pursued out of curiosity, but he was gone. I continued on with the game, not sure what to think. As I expanded the world, I saw things that seemed out of place for the normal map generator to make. 2x2 tunnels in the rocks, small perfect pyramids made of sand in the ocean, and groves of trees with all their leaves cut off. I would constantly think I saw the other player in the deep fog, but I never got a better look at him. I tried increasing my render distance to far whenever I thought I saw him, but to no avail. I saved the map and went on the forums to see if anyone else had found the pseudo player. There were none. I created my own topic telling of the man and asking if anyone had a similar experience. The post was deleted within 5 minutes. I tried again, and the topic was deleted even faster. I received a PM from username Herobrine, containing one word: stop. When I went to look at Herobrine's profile, the page 404'd. I received an email from another forum user. He claimed the mods can read the forum user messages, so we were safer using email. The emailer claimed that he had seen the mysterious player too, and had a small directory of other users who have seen him as well. Their worlds were littered with obviously man-made features as well, and described their mystery player to have no pupils. About a month passed until I heard from my informant again. Some of the people who had encountered the mysterious man had looked into the name Herobrine and found that name to be frequently used by a Swedish gamer. After some further information gathering, it was revealed to be the brother of Notch, the game's developer. I personally emailed Notch and asked him if he had a brother. It took him a while, but he emailed me back with a very short message. I did, but he is no longer with us. I haven't seen the mysterious man since our first encounter, and I haven't noticed any changes to the world other than my own. I was able to press print screen when I first saw him. Here's the only evidence of his existence. During the Battle of Endor in Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, the rebels destroy the second Death Star in orbit around the forest moon of Endor. The destruction of the battle station kills the remaining Imperial forces on board and delivers an immense blow to the Empire. Due to the loss of such a gigantic weapon and all aboard, the defeat of the Imperial fleet nearby, and the death of the evil Emperor Palpatine. And our heroes are celebrating at the end, all dandy and fine, now that Darth Vader has been redeemed. Add the special edition, and you get celebrations on numerous worlds across the galaxy against the Imperials. Sounds fine, right? Consider that the Death Star 2 is around the size of our moon. When the station erupts into a gigantic fireball, numerous pieces of its frame and inner workings are ejected outwards into space at enormous speeds. Also consider that in real life, when a space station that is vastly smaller than the Death Star 2 is destroyed, it creates a cloud of debris that begins to circle the Earth due to being drawn in by the planet's gravity. If the debris collides with satellites, it can cause great damage to them. Imagine all that debris, much of which could be country-sized, falling down onto the forest moon. The gravity field would pull on the wreckage so that it would be shifted towards the moon. The gas giant Endor is directly behind the forest moon, and thus cannot pull enough of the debris away. The rebel fleet is too small to create a combined shield to deflect even half the stuff. And the Imperials, even if they were helping the rebels deflect it and had all of their ships, would not be anywhere near enough to protect the moon. The resulting impacts would practically annihilate the biosphere of the moon. Enormous clouds of dust would be thrown up into the air, blocking out sunlight for many miles. This would be in turn supplemented by the forest fires caused by burning wreckage strikes. The native population of the planet, the Ewoks, would have to be evacuated off-planet if they were to have any chance of surviving this catastrophe. It is doubtful that they would survive. The rebels are strapped for ships and could evacuate only a mild sliver of the Ewok natives. This would not be an unlikely event. One lone asteroid was enough to cause a global cataclysm that wiped out a great deal, if not the majority, of the fauna and life on Earth during the age of the dinosaurs. Thus, the great victory at Endor would come at a great price: the holocaust of nearly an entire population. I've decided to kill myself. I think it's important someone understands why, so I'm making this video before I blow my head off. The first time I remember it happening, I was 9. Johnny Weller and I were playing in his backyard. The sun was setting over his back fence, warm oranges and reds shining through the bone-white slates like a creamsicle against pearly white teeth. Johnny was the cowboy, and I was the dirty redskin, stealing his horse. We ran around the swing set, him laughing and me whooping and threatening to scalp him. When he tripped, I ran to where he lied in the dirt, scooped up a handful of air, pointed my finger at his nose, and proclaimed, "I got your gun now!" Bang! Johnny's head exploded in a tremendous blossom of crimson blood, slate gray brain, and chips of skull that sparkled in the setting sun. My hand fell to my side, and I stared, mouth opened, unable to understand what just happened. Someone was screaming. At first I thought it must be Johnny's mother, until she tore open the back door and I realized I was the one screaming. Johnny's mother crumpled against her son's headless body, adding her broken sobs to my horrified cries. Johnny's funeral was the next week, closed casket. I forgot the sparkling light shimmering across the cloud of Johnny's blood. I forgot Johnny's mother ragdolling my little body, begging me to tell her what happened to her son. I forgot the sheriff telling my mother Johnny was hit by a falling bullet, one of 26 cases each year. I forgot my father's quiet talks with my mother about how they never found the round that spattered Johnny's smile across the grass. I adjusted, I coped, I forgot. I didn't forget the next time it happened. I never played Cowboys and Indians again. In fact, I can't remember a single instance of any shooting game played by little boys anywhere in my childhood. I do remember the little girl in the park, popping her little Nerf balls as she bounced around. She ran up to me, brandishing the weapon and shouting, "Hands up." I smiled and complied, dropping my sandwich in mock terror. I lifted my hands to the sky and petitioned for mercy, a true homicidal maniac in the making. She executed me with a flurry of staccato pops. I dutifully played dead, sprawling across my bench. She giggled and proclaimed, "Your turn, shoot me." A sudden sensation of intense discomfort slithered up my spine. I thought of flowers, glimmering crimson roses, wet with morning dew. She eyed me impatiently, apparently convinced she might have to nerf me once more to provoke a response. I lifted my finger weakly, pointed it at her, and whispered, "Bang." This time, I wasn't the one screaming. Her mother cradled her baby's dismembered limbs, frantically clutching an arm, then a leg. I had pointed my finger at the little girl's belly button. The moment the word left my lips, she ruptured like a water balloon filled with punch and soaring bits of crimson-colored fruit. Johnny Weller's decapitated body filled my vision, the slow red of sunset sliding down the front of his striped shirt. I ran. I can't do this anymore. I got pissed at Laura yesterday and put my finger in her face to tell her off. I didn't even say it. I couldn't bring myself to sop my girlfriend's brains off the kitchen wall. I can't do this anymore. All I have to do is put my finger against my temple and say it. At least I'll go out with a bang.
There is a website that offers its users the choice to experience the ultimate horror. This website, called blindmaiden.com, is supposedly a site dedicated to a doomed spirit that will enter the homes of people who have viewed it. However, no matter how hard you try, your browser won't allow you to enter the site. You see, to access the site, you must wait until exactly 12 a.m., making sure that the night in question is a new moon night. You must be on your own in your home with all the lights turned off. Only when these conditions are met will you be granted access to the site. As soon as you enter, you will see a montage of pictures being displayed quickly. These images are of boys and girls without eyes and faces that are twisted in tremendous fear. After that, text will appear on a monitor saying, "This website will take you to a whole new level of horror. A horror that will use all 5 of your senses. You must be very careful not to click on anything by accident. You will be faced with a real experience of absolute horror. Click the accept button to engage actively in the experience. If you click decline, you will be rewarded with access to the entire archive of these gruesome images. A gore site pretty much. Click accept, however, and there will be no turning back. You have sealed your fate, and trust me, you will experience the ultimate horror." Upon accepting, you will see a sinister silhouette walking towards your home on your monitor. The spirit will then approach and enter the same room as you are in. You will then see your own back on the monitor, and you will feel a presence behind you. Suddenly, you will feel someone tapping on your shoulder, and as you turn around, you will see the blind maiden's face and scream in terror, and that will be the last thing you will do, as she will then kill you. The blind maiden will then pluck your eyes out and take a photo of your face. Congratulations, you have successfully completed the ritual, and as a reward, that photo will forever be a part of the website's picture gallery, just like all the other photos of people who were stupid or curious enough to press the accept button. And yes, if you are a thrill seeker, then you will love the last few moments of your life.